Hey everybody, so this is going to be part 2 of the previous video, which is a quick tip video on how to recover a AGM battery that has gone below the 10 volts. Mine is at 5.6 volts. So please stick around for part 2 and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody, don't mind the TV, I gotta get rid of the TV. So we have our Milwaukee M12 rocket light here. Like the previous video, I was talking about this Duralast Platinum. It's an H8 AGM battery. It is a Group 95. Amp hours says 95. This is a somewhere. This is a 1200, I think, cold crank amp battery. It might be 1000 cold crank amp battery. This one right here. This one is in my Forerunner. It's a Duralast Platinum. This is an H6 AGM, and that's an H8. This is a 760 cold crank amp at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 950 cold crank amps at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Reserve capacity 120, and it's a 70 amp hours battery. So like I was stating on the previous video, which is part 1, that's what I'm going to label it as, is if you're having a hard time charging something like an AGM battery where it's gone under its threshold of under 10.7 volts or so, like this one was at like 3.2 volts. I've gotten it up to about 5.6 volts, but this style Schumacher charger, any smart charger and maintainer, they have a system and a chip in them that physically states that if the battery is under 12 volts or under 10.7 volts, I believe, that it will just label it as a bad battery. It will not charge it. Easiest way to get the charging done is to hook in parallel. Now I'm going to reiterate this: do not hook these two separate batteries in series. In series would be positive of this battery to the negative of that battery, and then the negative of this battery to the positive of that battery. Do not do that. Do only in parallel, which would be positive of this battery to the positive of that battery, and the negative of this battery to the negative of that battery. Then what you want to do is you want to hook your charger or your maintainer or both to the good battery, the one that has good charge. And then you're going to want to make sure that this battery is at least, the good battery is at least at 12 volts minimum. Then what you would do is, I have my multimeter, and you don't need to use a multimeter, but I have several multimeters. I hook the positive of the multimeter to the positive and the negative to the negative, just so it can give me a voltage. This battery being hooked up in parallel is steady for the last about 45 minutes to an hour at 13.75 volts. And then what you would do is the jumper, I have them in the front, and this battery isn't hot either. You also want to make sure that the batteries do not get hot, especially the one that is deeply discycled and deeply discharged. You want to make sure that one doesn't get hot, because if it does, then you could have a problem with the battery. And if it starts off gassing or anything like that, because the AGM batteries have oxygen and hydrogen in them, and if it off gases that, then they will never take a charge again. So just make sure that you watch this. This is not something that you just plug in, walk away, for a week or whatever, and you do whatever you want. You actually need to watch these. You need to check them. If they're hot to the touch, then I would continue charging immediately. There's probably a problem with the battery. This battery was maintained on this Schumacher for about a month when I was doing the axles, and then I popped the battery back in, took the truck for a drive and everything. Been using the truck, and then what happened is I realized that there was a parasitic draw, and before I can take the battery out, it had already gone from 12 volts to like, I think it was like 3.2 volts is what it was, and it was bouncing between like 2.5 to 3.1 volts, somewhere in there. So I have it on a maintainer, and the maintainer charger is set to charging. I have it set to an AGM. Make sure that it's set to AGM or gel. If it's a gel battery, put it to gel. If it's an AGM, put it to AGM. If it's a standard lead acid battery, put it to standard. Do not mix them. This has a 6 to 2 amp charge, a 30 amp boost, and a 100 amp engine start. I have it 6 to 2 amp charge. It's been at 93 for probably about an hour and a half. And the reason I'm making this is the part 2, we're gonna do it in like a stage, because I need to use this truck in about 45 minutes or so. So this part of the video, what I'm gonna do is when I take this off, I'll bring you guys back when I have this all taken off, and there should be enough charge in that battery that this charger will charge it now without needing this battery as help. Because this battery was just to get that battery above the 10.2 volts or so that way this charger can recognize it as a legitimate battery. So when I bring you guys back, all this is going to be disconnected, but when I bring you guys back, I will show you me hooking this charger up to that battery, and we're going to be doing that in the house to make it a little easier. So I appreciate you guys' time, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey everybody, so we're back. So I already hooked it up because I had to go pick up my wife from work, but just to bring you guys back, because I said I would, and I said I was going to bring you guys back and show you it inside. So I have it hooked up. I pulled it inside, and the reason I hooked it up before I started the video was because I took it off the 4Runner and everything 20-30 minutes before I had to go pick her up. So that's why it's charging and plugged in right now. But it says 10.5 volts is what the battery is at. It is set to AGM, and it's set to 6 to 2 amp charge. Not turned off for some reason. See, right now it's showing bad battery again. I was charging fine until I messed with it. But we'll check the voltage on the battery real quick. And you can probably hear that it's clicking because it doesn't want to. Doesn't want to acknowledge that the battery's there. Alright, so positive lead with a clip. Oh, there it is, it fell. Now it's charging again. Ground. Ground. So according to the battery, it's showing 14.798, 14.8 volts. Now it's charging again. It says 95%. Voltage, 12 volts. Charging indicator is on. Let me turn the light off so you can see it. Charging indicator is on. AGM 6 to 2 amp. So this is a way that you can trick the battery, which is basically you're using the fully charged battery in the vehicle to put the charger on that battery, so this doesn't do this. It knows that it's a 12 volt battery and it's at a 12 volt charge. You're just trickle charging it or charging it up a little bit. And what it does is when you have the jumper cables hooked to this battery and the good battery in parallel, it actually trickle charges the bad battery, or the battery that this tile charger says is bad. Another tip for you guys is that this method, hooking jumper cables up in parallel, hot on this battery to hot on the good battery, and ground on this battery, or negative on this battery to the negative on the good battery, that whole setup works better when both batteries are not hooked into a vehicle, because you have draw on the vehicle from the ECM and other electronic components that are pulling battery power every once in a while before they go into their sleep mode. So this charging trick works best when you have the bad battery sitting on a bench, like right here, and the good battery sitting on a bench. So if it helps, you don't need to have 2 AGM batteries, to charge 1 AGM battery. You don't need to have, a gel battery to charge an AGM. You can use a lead acid cheap battery to charge a dead AGM or a really low voltage AGM. This battery was at 2.4 volts originally. That's what my wife told me earlier, because I wasn't paying attention. And she remembered and I didn't. But so this battery is now at 10.6 volts right now, when it was at 2.4 volts, 2.2 to 2.4. So just a couple tips and tricks that I thought you guys might find useful. This trick works best if both batteries are not in a vehicle, just sitting on a bench top. Just make sure that the good battery is above 12 volts, a minimum of 12 volts minimum, and make sure that that battery is somewhere in the range between 12 and 12.5. You should be good, because these smart chargers will charge a battery that's above 10.5 volts, no problem. It will not think it's a bad battery unless it's at 10.5 or below. Another tip and piece of information I would like to give you guys, and it's still holding steady at 14.85, is I would like to inform you guys that if you are in the market or looking for a charger that can charge an AGM or gel battery under 1 volt, Optima came out with 2 battery chargers. One, it's a 400 series, and one is a 1200 series. And I'm actually going to look at picking them up, and I'll probably introduce them on the channel. If you guys are interested, just leave a comment down below if you'd like to learn more about those chargers. So these guys right here, this is on OptimaBatteries.com, but you can buy these 2 chargers on Amazon. They're the same price. The little one, it's a digital 400. On Amazon, it's $89. On Optima, it's $89.99, same. And this large digital 1200 unit is $199 on Optima's website and 99 cents, and it's also $199 on Amazon as well. And if you guys are interested, say you run a lot of AGM batteries, this will charge standard batteries, AGM batteries, in addition to flooded batteries. They also recover deep discharged batteries and extend the life of all lead acid batteries. I was doing some research. There is a video on YouTube particularly about these two chargers. Digital 400 12 volt performance charger and battery maintainer, and a digital 1200 12 volt performance charger and battery maintainer. And some of the information is performance of 12 volt AGM and flooded Optima batteries, as well as other high performance AGM batteries. It also recovers deeply discharged batteries and helps extend battery life. With an easy to read bright backlit LCD gauge that displays battery charge, fill rate, mode settings, and fault messages, this charger offers one of the best user interfaces. And from what I was reading on it, it actually is extremely nice for the price. It has USB charging ports on it as well. The $199 one, which is the 1200 digital 1200, is a 12 amp max charger, where this one is a 2 to 6 amp max that I have in front of me, with a 30 amp boost and a 100 amp engine start. The smaller 400 digital 400 model is a 4 amp max, so it's actually in between this unit. This is a 2 amp charge and a 6 amp charge unit. And this one is a 4 amp, so I'd end up having the Schumacher with a 2 amp, this one with a 4 amp, and the Schumacher with 6, so 2, 4, 6. And then we'd end up going with a 12 amp as well. I'm probably going to purchase these anyways because I think it's a good idea to have them around. And these will charge a AGM battery and gel battery deep cycled under 1 volt. From what I was reading and finding out, they will charge a deep discharge cycled battery that is at minimum of 0.50 volts. So basically a 500 milliamps, somewhere in there. And you know, these are both for 12 volt systems. This charger I have sitting right here, it actually does 6 volt and 12 volt. So just to let you guys know, these two right here are only for 12 volt systems. I do not think that they will do 6 volt. I will find some more information, and I'll probably put links to these to Amazon in the description below if it helps you guys and you guys are interested in them. I'll probably put a link in the description for this guy as well if you guys want to look at it. And I appreciate your guys' time. Hope this video helps some of you guys try to recover a battery yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next video. I appreciate you sticking around for the video. Thank you for your time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links, my Acme Tools affiliate links, my DJI Electronics affiliate links, as well as my Ohio Power Tools affiliate links. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace!